Venice is the moment Tomb Raider 2 truly found its identity. It's only the second level in the game, but it's the one people remember. Not just because it looks beautiful, but because it balances beauty and danger better than anything the series had done before. And for me, it's always been more than just a well-designed level. This is why I love Venice.
I first played Venice in 1997 when I was 14 years old. I'm now 42, and whenever I load into the level, I'm instantly taken back to a much simpler time. It was a time when I could sit in my room for hours on end, completely absorbed in exploring its canals and its balconies. There was something comforting about it, not because it was easy, but because it was familiar. The layout, the pacing, even the tension felt controlled. Even years later, after moving on to newer consoles, I'd still tell people Venice was one of my favourite levels in any game, and I've never changed my mind. When the level begins, you're greeted with clear skies and bright sunshine. It feels calm, peaceful even. But within seconds that calm is shattered by guards, barking dogs and gunfire echoing around you. That contrast is what makes Venice work. It's never chaotic, but it's never completely safe either. There's always this low-level tension, the sense that something could be waiting around the next corner. If I had to describe Venice in a couple of words, I'd say controlled tension.
A lot of what makes Venice memorable isn't what you see, it's what you hear. Birds chirping in the distance, water gently crashing against the walls, footsteps echoing as you move through narrow corridors. Then suddenly, the calm is broken by gunfire or the roar of a speedboat engine as you traverse through the water. Even the small details, like glass smashing, feel deliberate. The level doesn't just look like Venice, it sounds alive. Although earlier levels in Tomb Raider were based on real-world locations, Venice feels like the first truly urban environment in the series. When you combine the visuals with the sound design, it stops feeling like a level and starts feeling like a place. The music is used sparingly, and that's one of the smartest decisions the developers made. Because of the hardware limitations at the time, the team had to be selective about when music was used, and that limitation actually worked in the game's favour. The silence makes the music more powerful when it arrives. If it had been played constantly throughout the level, I don't think it would be nearly as effective. Instead, it's deployed at key moments to heighten tension or emphasize discovery. It's the perfect example of constraint shaping creativity. Venice also introduces speedboats, the first usable vehicles in the series. Jumping into one for the first time felt genuinely exciting. It expanded the scale of the level without making it overwhelming. What I really appreciate is that you don't strictly need to use the boat to finish the level, as there is an alternative option if you know where to look. The level loops back on itself in clever ways. Balconies connect to canals, buildings hide shortcuts. It encourages exploration without ever feeling confusing, but it also gives you room to play. You can take the direct route or you can take your time. You can move carefully or you can throw in a swan dive from the highest rooftop just because you feel like it. And that freedom is part of what makes Venice feel alive. It's structured but never feels rigid.
I think Venice still works today because everything is aligned. The art direction, the sound design, the pacing, the layout, they all support the same feeling, beauty mixed with tension. It was released at a time when 3D console gaming was still relatively new. Developers were experimenting, taking risks, figuring out what would work. There's a confidence to Venice, but there's also a sense of discovery. The remastered version keeps the original layout intact, but enhances the lighting, textures and sound quality. Seeing Venice remastered for the first time was genuinely emotional for me. It felt like revisiting somewhere I hadn't been in years, familiar but refreshed. It doesn't replace the original, it celebrates it. Venice isn't just one of the best levels of Tomb Raider 2. It's a level that proved the series could evolve beyond ancient tombs and still feel unmistakably Tomb Raider. It's beautiful without being safe, tense without being overwhelming, familiar without ever feeling dull. And after all these years, that balance is why I still keep coming back.